Hello, YouTube. Or just me. Um, I started this live stream to talk about something that happens to be in the news everywhere. Well, if you look for it. So, earlier this week there was a release from our government talking about different species of aliens that do exist. And I've been saying this pretty pretty much since 2020. I have claimed that I met what looked to me as a snake humanoid being, a person that looked like they were part snake and part human, and the eyes were the most interesting part. If you look at the thumbnail that I posted with this video, that is exactly what the eyes looked like. And you might be like, did her eyes glow? Yes, her eyes had a glow to them, a green glow, with the typical slit for a pupil. It's quite shocking, in fact, to see this in person and the waking world, not in a dream, not in some kind of drugged out state, hallucination. Pretty much just like I'm sitting with you right here, right now. But it was a lot different than that. And I'm not going to get into the entire story. And I'm not claiming that they're aliens either. Because I don't believe that either. Not at all. Not in the slightest. I just think there's something that we would have a hard time grasping as human beings. Like, that's probably why it's been hidden from us for so long. I don't think we can handle it. But hey, we'll see. The world's going in weird places now. Cute Kitty says, I have come across somebody like that at Walmart, of all places. He was mean and he had dark eyes. He was an employee. Now, you got to be careful because a lot of people can put these contact lenses in. What happened in front of me was somebody, without being able to go run somewhere and put on makeup, a mask, or anything, they just changed completely right in front of me. And but nowadays you have to be suspect of everything because people tattoo their eyes. They wear strange contacts. My friend Tracy had all these contacts, would make her look like a demon. But this wasn't that. This wasn't contact lenses. And I believe you, Cute Kitty. Here's why. Because you get this feeling, right? This feeling that, like, hits you in your soul. Truly. Carolyn Duncan, hello. So yeah, if you want to go check out what our government's talking about, I suggest you do. And keep your eyes out. Oh, here's the thing. If you suspect that somebody might be this, ask them to recite the Lord's Prayer for you. If they will not do it, you might wanna, it might be suspect. And, yeah, use the Lord's Prayer. That is literally the easiest way to decipher if you're dealing with one of these beings. Why is that? That's fucking weird. That is fucking weird. So I don't know if you guys know, I live stream on a platform called Pilled. I'm over there right now, actually, live streaming. And I live stream a lot. Just not here. Because I'm sure this live stream will probably be, I don't know. I don't know what. We'll see. Carolyn says, I was just getting on here to say hey. Hey. Big shout out to James the Fam. Hope he's doing good out there in YouTubia land. I need to give James a call. Gotta talk to him. It's been too long. Daniel says, hello, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. Oh shit. Okay. Happy Thursday. Oh my. So yeah, just another day working in the old laboratory. I don't think I've done very much other than water plants today. Spirit Stalker. Zach says, hello, Spirit Stalker. Spirit Stalker, gotta come over and join us on Pilled somehow. It's just like YouTube. You'll like it. I am going to personally harass every single human being that I know until they come over to Pilled, right? I'm liking it so far. I gotta say that freedom-wise, I can do and say what I like to say, right? I'm tired of having to say things in like a code. This person unalived himself. No. That's not what he did at all. But you can say that if you'd like. Jeez. Zach just shared the link over at Pilled. Come join us. I'm not cutting the live stream. Just putting it out there. I see a lot of people live streaming on multiple platforms. I'm not talented enough for that. I got a certain amount of fucking brain cells left up here, and they're up there fighting, working, trying to keep things going. There's like 6 little brain cell dudes up there. One of them's dying, the other one's sitting there trying to fucking perform CPR. Don't go, we need you. Great. We just lost speech. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. When COVID came around, and I believe I was infected, I don't know because I wouldn't go and get tested. I don't trust the test or nothing. But what I did get is a really bad headache for one night and slurring my words, like saying things backwards. And that was about it. It was a few hours of being dizzy and confused. That wasn't the same case for all of my family members, though. 2 of my family members ended up severely sick. And my oldest son, he's an athlete. He was doing backflips in the yard while everybody else was sick. Oh no, we're not doing that. There's a few of us over there so far. It was funny. B Apparary lady. She came over to Pilled and she's like, "Did you know that Cab 7's here? Right now. He's on. He's live right this minute." Really? No, I didn't know that. I'll tell you what, I haven't seen, I don't know if that's true or not, I haven't seen a reptile-like being since 2020. There was something that I noticed about the eye. And I would say the eye, while this person is in their human form, there's something about the eye. Now, if you look at my eyes, they stay pretty still, right? They don't bounce around. You're not looking at my eyes going, I can't even replicate what I see. And what I see in these people's eyes is a small bounce in the iris. And you'll see, while they're talking to you, the eye jumps back and forth like this. And it can't sit still no matter what. Even when they're sitting still, the eye doesn't sit still. I don't know if this was just a trait on her, but it seems to be something that I noticed in just a few people, right? It's just a strange movement of the eye. Also, I've been noticing things about the color of the eye, having to do with like a ring around the outside of the eye that may have not been there before. You may have never noticed on somebody that you know, there's like a ring around their eye. I went into some weird places and met some weird people and experienced very strange things filming paranormal videos over the years. I went into one building in Vermont where I lost time, where I literally asked the spirit box if they would come and get me, and they said yes. And it says yes, and then it says locate them, and then it says rules. There's rules in space. And then that night I went from filming, walking around in a so-called haunted location. It wasn't haunted. There's some fucked up shit. It's called The Nest. The Nesting Box was the name of the building. Me and James have had some really weird occurrences with this place. So, as soon as we get there, James is a different person, completely. As soon as he walks in, he goes from being James to being somebody else. He doesn't even really remember very much the next day. Me and Chelsea, we go in, everything seems okay and fine. She goes her way, I go my way. I'm filming, I'm doing spirit box sessions, shit. It gets to be maybe 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little bit later. The weird spirit box session happens. And I'm hearing these sounds, and I'm like relating it to outer space. And for some reason I started saying like, "Are you from outer space?" to the spirit box. And it was just the weirdest thing. And I set up a camera to record all night. So the camera that I set up to record all night, it records 3 hours of me snoring, right? Which I don't even remember going to sleep. 3 hours of me snoring, and then all of a sudden I say something, but the audio cuts out. who cut the fucking audio out? Right when I, like, so you can hear me sleeping, and then you can hear me say something, like I'm talking to somebody, but it's like the audio's missing, and then it seems like I get up and turn off the camera. Makes no sense. I was leaving that camera on all night for a reason. Then, the next day I wake up on the couch with a different jacket on. I had my army jacket on while I was investigating. When I woke up downstairs, I woke up with my North Face winter jacket on. The door was wide open. It was 20 degrees below zero. Chelsea comes downstairs, she's freezing. I'm not awake. Why am I not waking up? It's 20 below zero. The door's wide open. Chelsea comes over, wakes me up. She says, Lou, why are you downstairs for one? And the door was wide open. Nuh-uh. I get up, I start recording instantly. The video that I have on my channel, that's me as soon as I woke up. I start walking around looking at shit, and I notice a painting. And I look closer at the painting, and that's the thing about this building, is there's such weird alien paintings. There's a painting of John F. Kennedy with like a bubble on his head with a black woman, and they're walking in a future like city. So I see this painting on the wall, and I'm looking at it, and there is a fucking picture of me. It's painted. It's a painted version of me with a hoodie on, with my hat. My hat had spikes that came out of it. Literally, like, all the things that I was wearing were in the painting. And I notice it. You can go look at it. It's the video about aliens on my channel. And I'm missing at least 4 hours of time. I put my hand to God. This is what happened to me. It was strange. And you know what happened directly after that night? We canceled. We had already filmed in 12 states. We were going to film 50 states in 50 days. We were doing 2 states per day. And that building ended everything. After that building, everybody was done. I was done. Chelsea was done. James was done. Nobody wanted to continue this fucking trip. It was a strange place. And it was a strange place in Vermont. And then, so the even stranger part about it is, it's a 15-room so-called mansion that has all these paintings, all these things. We go to rent it again. Because it was, I mean, that's what we do. We look for these kind of places. So we're like, yo, something fucked up happened there. We were going to go back. We were going to bring, once we were going to bring Chris Starr. And so we go to rent the place again. And James calls and they're like, well, you could rent the place, but there's no furniture. You'd have to camp out on the floor. Wait a minute, so they took all the weird paintings and stuff out? And why would you take out furniture? And like, why would anybody want to camp in a fucking 15-room mansion? It don't make fucking sense. But they removed all the paintings, all of everything. So then, when we're trying to rent it still, we're like, yo, we'll still rent it, because this place was fucking weird. We try to rent it. Place immediately comes down off of where we were renting it. Like, literally, all the information about it drops, everything drops. Then, we start researching the area and what's in that area. And let's just say it doesn't relate to ghosts, but it's pretty fucking weird. They call it, I think it's like, I don't want to put it out there. I don't want to put the whole thing out there, because James might want to make a video on it someday. And I don't want to I don't want to ruin it because it's some fucking weird stuff, man. And we tried to go back and revisit and make a part 2 to those videos, but it was just, I guess, not in the cards. The cool part is I have those videos up and we can always go and just look at it. The spirit box responses are second to none. When I ask, will you take me to outer space? And it literally just goes, yes. No, there's no doubt about, did it say yes, no? No, it said fucking yes. Here's another thing. That night, for some reason, my spirit box was so fucking outstandingly weird. You were hearing doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and all these strange things that are just, usually hear chatter from radio stations, and no, we're hearing, and I did it in a live stream. That's what was cool too. I used to love doing live stream spirit box sessions. That way there's nothing that, nothing to question. It was live. So, I don't know. I've been saying this for a while. I met something that was definitely not completely human in 2020. And I will never change my opinion on that, ever. I will never change my view. I'll never change my statements. It was so scary that people literally left the hotel that we were in. Everybody got up and left the hotel and went to a different hotel, went to a different place because of what happened there. So, that was interesting. Especially hardened paranormal investigators. Fucking beating feet. But I would beat feet too. Paranormal investigators, not suicidal, Sarid says, you were hearing frequencies. Yes, that's what they communicate through, is frequencies. For sure. But these aren't just random pareidolia, full sentences, full out responses, instantaneous response. Not even a lag between the question and the response. That was one of the most amazing spirit box sessions I had ever done. It was definitely in the right location. That's for sure. Oh, the night before, or it was a couple nights before, we had done a spirit box session where I hooked up an ovulus, like this old ovulus, to my spirit box, and we started getting this weird shit. It sounded like gunshots and all kinds of, like, he's hiding in the stairwell, and within 6 hours there was a shooting that sounded just like what happened on this thing that I hooked up, and it was a weird week. It was a very strange week, to say the least. That was a week that before James and Chelsea had arrived, they went to this place called, and it's been destroyed. And it's been destroyed because the place is pretty fucked up. Bobby Mackey's. When I talked to L.A. Beast, and I always, what I relate to L.A. Beast, he collects Michael Jordan and 1980s memorabilia, and he ate a bull's penis in front of a bull. So that was ballsy. No pun intended. But when I was talking to him, he said, "Oh, you do that paranormal stuff, huh?" And he was telling me, "You need to go check out Bobby Mackey's." And he said, particularly, you need to go downstairs, and there's like this hole that he was describing. And he described going in there and having an experience. And he said he's a skeptic, to say that he's a very big skeptic. But he said after going in there, he felt something that changed his mind. Well, after James and Chelsea visited that place, James has put up a video about this. It was a dark time, really. We go into these places that are filled with traumas and energies that are older than, us. Things that go beyond our lifetime. And we don't think that stuff will affect us. And a lot of people just think it's all hogwash, right? But that's what you're supposed to think. That's what they want you to think. And I don't know who they are, but the more people that are led into danger, it was like the more I was being rewarded. The more stupid shit that I would do, the more I would influence others. Get it? Influencers? The more you influence people to go to this, this side of things, the more you're rewarded. Kind of sounds familiar to me. There was a reason that I walked away from this stuff. That night in 2020, I opened up a Bible, put my finger down, and it was this that was said. Or it's not said, it was in the Bible, it was the verse. "Those who engage in necromancy shall certainly be put to death." Interesting. Very interesting. There was another thing that was said, or another thing that was pointed out that evening that was relevant, and it was also from Leviticus. There was 2 verses that were pointed out that night, one by me and one by another. And the other verse was, "Those who commit adultery shall certainly be put to death." Also in Leviticus. Also something we probably should have been avoiding. Ghost hunting is equal to necromancy. Not exactly. Not exactly. You're on the right page. It's not exactly necromancy, right? But it's close enough for me. It's close enough for me. You know what is necromancy? Is trying to find out information from the dead. And what I used to do is try to get information to try to solve a cold case murder of a girl named Tammy. That would be considered necromancy. And trying to get information from the dead. That is necromancy. Now, trying to communicate with your loved ones on a spirit box, I'm not exactly sure where that lies. But I have to say, it all comes with a very big warning. The stuff is real. It happens. It's a measurable occurrence. You can buy a spirit box, turn it on, put a camera on, and you will experience something. Or maybe not. I don't know if it's different for different people. But for the most part, when I've seen people put on a spirit box, they get responses a large percentage of the time. So like I said, it's measurable. It can happen. It can be recorded. And I've recorded things that are not on the radio. Swears. Literal, like real curse words. And then complete sentences and be careful what you go looking for. Wait, did the Matrix just glitch? What happened? What did I miss? If you can, what is the time? 31? 31. I want to timestamp it. I want to know what you've seen. Did the Matrix glitch? Possibly. I swear you said the same phrase again. What was the phrase? Is a spirit box the same as a music box? I've heard of people being healed with music boxes. No, a spirit box, I don't think, is the same as this music box. I don't know what a music box is. And I've never seen anybody healed with a spirit box. A spirit box is a AM, FM radio. It can be any AM, FM radio. And it's a radio that you scan through the channels. And you can scan through channels at a certain speed. And it's it's been so long since I've done any of these things. But what it is like the old radios from the 80s, like the Radio Shack radios. You used to be able to hold the button down and it would do what you guys know as scanning. And it would scan the channels and it would stop when it got a strong enough AM signal. But what some people found is when you disabled the ability for it to stop on that strong signal and you just let it scan through the channels repeatedly, and what happens is it goes through the entirety of the entire band of frequencies in the FM till it rolls over and starts from the beginning and keeps going through and looping through those frequencies. And when it does this, somehow something is able to manipulate it. It seems to be local. And what I mean by that, it seems like when you do this, it's something that's around you, that's affecting the box right there with you. This is all theory. I did this for many years, but it all ends up being observation and then theory. I'll be right back. I need to see the little girls run real quick. Much better. Much, much better. That's that mushroom coffee running straight through me. There is nothing going on, and I had to go to the bathroom is what happened. I had to go to the girlies' room. The little girl's room. I gotta. Oh, if you guys didn't know, I am a female stuck in a male's body. Let's not go there. They're like, yes, you are, Lou. We know that, bud. We know that, bud. We knew that. Always. Oh my. I get cluster headaches, and I'm sensitive to EMR. And humming gets me through the worst of torture. Electromagnetic radiation, EMR. I don't get much headaches, but I do get ringing in the ears to the point where I feel like I've been hit in the head with a baseball bat. But I've also been hit in the head with a baseball bat, and I've had my head smashed into concrete. I've been stabbed in the head with a screwdriver 3 times. Yeah, I was stabbed in the face, stabbed in the front of the head, and stabbed in the back of the head. I needed staples here, stitches here, and then they stitched my face closed. I'm surprised I don't have a scar on my face. If I shaved, you wouldn't be able to see a scar anyways. I live less than 500 yards from a 5G tower. I live just about at the 500-yard line, right? I live right about at that I live right on the outskirts of one of those. That's the smartest thing you can do, Davey, is basically live in a room I made into a Faraday cage. Do you know what they're selling now? They're selling paint. They're selling paint that is Wi-Fi proof, and it blocks these signals, right? Well, do you want to know what it is? It's lead paint. Why do you think they banned lead paint? Lead paint blocks all of these radiations, all of these signals. So if you use lead paint, you're probably going to have bad Wi-Fi reception in your house. You notice these old Victorians? Well, here in Springfield, they're in Forest Park. They have fucking 30 layers of lead paint underneath whatever is on the walls. That is a very good, and also those houses have an actual metal screen between the plaster and the outside of the wall. The metal screen holds the plaster to the wood. And so, in essence, before you remodel your Victorian home, you might want to think about, instead of, and I've done this in this home, instead of replacing the plaster with sheetrock, because that's what they get us to use nowadays, is sheetrock. It's very easy to put up, very easy to deal with. Plaster, if you resurface the plaster, it is worth a lot more. So when I go into, I've been doing carpentry for a little over 25 years. I know, I don't look that old, do I? Yeah, I do. But when you refinish something, it's always going to be worth more than if you go in there and gut it and put in cheap materials. A lot of those buildings have woodwork in there that they'll break the woodwork out and throw it in the dumpster. What I actually ended up learning when I had to actually refinish this woodwork is that woodwork, if you take it down nicely and you don't break it, You can actually sell it for extreme amounts of money. And if you refinish it, you can sell it for even more. One doorway would cost about $2,000 for its ornamental antique woodwork. And it's very hard to restore without fucking it up because it has all these intricate designs in it. But it is doable. Those Mylar blankets you can get on Amazon for less than $1 a piece. Just put them bitches on the wall everywhere, right? You'd be good. Yeah, well, I live in a bubble. I live in a plastic bubble. Maybe I should put up a Faraday cage. I live in the basement. That probably saves me from a ton of shit. Just go right over the top of the building. That's not true either. We gotta think like this. Your body has all these heavy metals in it, right? They've built up these heavy metals in our bodies. It makes your body conductive, and also it makes your body so it can be measured in different ways. But you got to think like this. When the wrong microwaves are... You ever put a piece of tin foil in the microwave and then turn it on? You got to think that's what's going on inside your body at a certain point. And so it might be pretty important to get those metals out of our bodies. That's for sure. They're putting copper inside everything in hospitals, Davey. They're using copper because copper it kills everything. They're using it on the surfaces in the hospitals. They're even putting copper into the linens. Interesting. Because it kills all germs. Tool Specs says hi. Hello from Earth, I think. Yes, copper is aquarium fish meds. So copper is used as a medicine for fish? Is that what you're saying? I got some copper around here somewhere. We're going to be taking this copper wire and running it from outside to the inside into every single one of my pots. I've done this already, but it gets to be a little bit trickery. A little trickery. Where the fuck is my copper? Oh, right here. So we're going to take this thin copper spool of wire and we're going to wrap this around a spike that I put into the ground outside of that window. We're going to wrap it around that spike, and then we're going to take this wire and run it to every single one of my pots. And we're going to connect it into each pot with a spike into the soil, so that we ground each pot to the outside. I know. I'm crazy. I never said that I wasn't. I don't claim to be sane. It's a defense of electromagnetic frequencies. And very, very smart. You'd probably be one of the only people to survive something that may happen or may not happen someday. World's getting fishy, man. We're talking about fish. I used to breed aquarium fish. 26 aquariums running at one point. Holy smokes. Oh, but I don't want to put it into outlets, Davey. I'd rather drill a hole right through my concrete and put it right into the ground itself. It's about reconnecting to the earth. I think your boy needs to just kick his shoes off and walk the earth like fucking the dude from Kung Fu. Yes, bare feet. We're gonna walk the earth. I've done some grounding electroculture with my plants, and I've seen some outstanding results from it. I also use crystals along with copper and stuff. We definitely need to return to farming and growing our own plants and food. Desperately, we need to do this. And then another thing is these ticks. Everybody's hearing about ticks. Ticks, 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 ticks. Well, if you know, like, the real truth about this, that meat-borne, or the meat disease where you can't eat meat, was so rare, it was almost non-existent. This is a bioweapon. What I have to say to the world is, we're being hit by bioweapons here in the United States, and we allow the people that hit us with those weapons to continue on? Really? You're destroying our fucking planet, and you think you keep walking with two legs? I don't know, maybe us Massachusetts folk run things a little different than the rest of the world. But when people come and try to harm us in our own place, we defend ourselves. Right? Shits and giggles. I'm growing my own food this year. Well, some of it anyway. Tool specs. We need to do this. You will notice or understand this year, along with everybody else, that every bit of food that you grow is actually money. That's actually has tangible value. It has more value than a dollar bill. When you grow food and it's fresh and it's filled with life and it's filled with good, which still has God in it, that is something that you can't buy from too many places. Rut Rohan, Lou, on my favorite topic of research. I'm planting as we speak. Bananas is my biggest challenge. Ooh, bananas. Are you indoors, outdoors? Bananas would be probably not so hard if you live down in Florida. In Florida, you'd probably do pretty well with bananas. I'll tell you what, I never had an orange that was better than an orange I picked off a fucking tree in Florida. Also, they have these little kumquat fucking miniature orange, and not those fake ones that they sell at Walmart. That shit is not food. And then, they not liking me right now. What time is it? It is not food. That is not food that has value. That is shit. It is shit. Why is it that 90% of the things that you turn over from one of these places says, it says like Venezuela, Peru, fucking whatever the fuck? Why isn't it from the United States? I understand tropical fruits and stuff like that, but we can be growing a massive amount of stuff here, and that's what's worth money. Our system is broken because we allow it to be broken. When we replace good with this bullshit oil-based plastic food, well, we'll be doing a little bit better. Why do they want us to be allergic to meat? That is the biggest question. See, I've had this allergy for years now. I may have been one of the first victims of this meat-borne or meat fucking allergy. My friend Zach can tell you. I've sat down, eaten some meat, and then boom. Head hits the fucking floor. I'm throwing up. I'm all fucked up. From meat. But see, it's funny because it's only certain meats that get me sick. That's strange. And this started happening around 2010, 2011-ish. Oh, no. I remember I went and visited my friend Margie shortly after this stuff started affecting me really bad. Any red meat, anything would just put me into the fucking camel clutch. Strange. It's actually subsided. But I've also done parasite cleanses. I eat very healthy. And I take care of myself now that I live a clean and green lifestyle. Research it. There is a protocol to Lyme disease that causes allergic reaction to meat. No, that's what I'm talking about, Davey. They've been releasing these ticks, these Lone Star ticks. They were releasing them, boxes of ticks being released. Well, you can trace those ticks right back to the direct person, Phil Bates. His name rhymes with Schmill Freights. Till Mates. He had something to do with something soft. And now he owns all of these fake meat factories. Do you guys want... I would rather eat... And you know what? It's funny. Because this is what you're going to hear. And mark my words, you'll hear this. They're going to want us to eat crickets and bugs. Or you can eat our lab-grown meat that tastes just like a real hamburger. In fact, it is. It's McDonald's. It's whatever. You'd be better off eating the plant or the insect protein, the grasshoppers, the crickets, those type of things that they're actually delicacies in other countries. I've eaten crickets. They actually taste like a peanut. They're not nasty. We've been conditioned to eat all these things. The only difference between eating one thing and another is the way you think about it. Because to some children, the eyeball of a seal is like ice cream. They relate it to ice cream. The eyeball of a seal. In Alaska, in some tribes, they use these eyeballs. They're candy-like. The kids Love them. They're treats. And it is fear. It's fear that keeps you from trying something different. Something good. Ticks give and take from us too. I don't think there's a single thing that ticks do that's good. If you look at what ticks have done to pretty much every animal species, deers, like have you seen the wasting disease that deers get? They look like zombies. That's the same thing that is mad cow disease and all these things. It's fucked up. What happens is a certain protein structure, let's just say, that's Kool-Aid on my fingers, that's why I have red fingers. Don't ask. Yeah. Forget it. Oh, ticks. Yeah, we don't need fucking ticks. So what happens is a protein starts to change, and every time that protein finds a protein in your body, it changes it. So it's like, it's fucked up, man. We don't need this stuff. Mad cow disease, and a lot of these diseases are prion diseases, which are from cannibalism. I don't know, man. I ain't trying to get no ticks. I suggest, and then that's another thing. What would we want to kick this fear of? Let's make people afraid to be outside. Let's make sure people are hiding inside their houses, away from nature, away from these things that heal. Excuse me. There's the Pilled link. Y'all are all welcome to come join us on Pilled. Homestead to secure your and protect your family. Makes sense. Some people are just so stuck in their ways, they won't. They won't. They're tied to the city. Know and be able to control your life, says Davy. Yes. Or be in control of your life and the life of your family and the people around you. If you're growing your own food, you've got your own water source, you're doing well. You're wealthy. Be grateful. They don't want us living in these places. They want you like a moth to the flame to go into the cities, the cesspools, while they live in these places of beauty. That's reserved only for the highest of the high. You ever been in a place and people just look at you weird? Like you just don't belong? I have. I've been in many places like that. Know the source of your food source. That is so true. So many people have no idea where their food is coming from. You have no clue. You allow a stranger to source your food. We go to these buildings with strangers, usually kids and old people that don't really want to work anyways, and they serve us this stuff called fast food. You don't know where the fuck it comes from. You don't know what it is. You don't know what's in it. You don't know what they've done to it. But we do this. We are conditioned to do this. Most people would rather do this than go and get some fresh ingredients and create their own, food. This family, we do a lot of shopping at the farmer's market. We are at the farmer's market the majority of the month. Yo, there's a big ass bug just fucking got itself into the window over here. Yo, I had this window closed, bro. Did you literally push the window open? Bruh. Bro, this thing literally just... Whoa. There you go, sucker. There you go, sucker motherfucker. Oh my gosh, bro. You gotta be kidding me. Bro, talking about ticks, and I got this big, giant, weird fucking... Oh my gosh, bro. If you guys just seen what I just killed, flying around, they're sending them after me, man. They're coming, man. Dude, I've had a fucking influx of black widow spiders. I actually have one right here in this fucking tin. I'm not opening it. He's been in there for a few weeks. I'm sure he's run out of oxygen. There was weed in there. I don't know how much moisture's in the weed or if there was bugs or anything in there that he could fucking survive on. I'm not opening it. Log cabin, check. Pond, duck, check. Well, wood stove, check. Growing food, check. Now I just need to dig a hole for a fallout shelter. There you go. You're living a dream. Living a dream. Two of the biggest imports and exports in the USA is agriculture. That's just like the potato famine. There's no famine. They're shipping that food out of there. And they were left with potatoes. That's it. The food was going to the same place that it goes now. The same place that things don't change. Things have not changed. We live in the same world as fucking Pope Alexander the 15th or whatever. I don't know. In the year 1500. The Borgia Pope. Back in the day of Machiavelli. It's the same shit. There was something that they called the Bonfire of the Vanities. Yes, and the Bonfire of the Vanities wasn't just like a show in the 80s. It was a real event. And the Bonfire of the Vanities, these zealots, these Christian zealots, were going around to, well, they might be being called zealots, because if you actually think about what they're doing, it kind of reminds me of today. There was a certain cardinal that he was considered a zealot, and he went up against the Borgias, Orsini, all these cardinals of the Vatican, and he started going around to these same peoples, and they would go and they'd say, listen, give us your vanities or we'll take them from you. And meaning give us your riches, because we're just about to burn that shit, because we're sick of being slaves to your vanities, is what I get out of it, right? And so a lot of people would give up some of their riches to be burned They took the man and they burned him. And he actually survived being burnt, which is even more mad because it's almost like he was being protected by something. But it's the same as today. The Vatican ruled the world. Interesting. Vatican actually stands, the word actually means the abode of serpents. I just had potatoes, real Polish sausage with onions and real butter. Real butter, that sounds good. Tigers, what's up? I can forget about the bear that keeps swinging by. 6th time now. Squeeze me. Pardon me. Just sitting here in the garden of Luden. Oh, I made a song. You guys want to hear it? Well, I don't care if you do or not. I'm still gonna play this shit. It's called Stuck in the Game, and it's only 2 minutes, so don't complain. We're all stuck in the game.
Every damn day I'm stuck in the street, trying to find a way to get back on my feet. This life, you know, it never plays sweet. Beating down hard, now I'm stuck in defeat, and everything's gone so wrong. So I decided to write it down in this song. Feels like I'm trapped in a simulation. Level after level, no explanation. That's out of my heart, but it keeps on breaking. Living this life like a game that's glitching, shaking.
Let me get some hot coffee.
I feel with you in the rain. I feel with you through the pain. You know it's never the same. Living life like we're stuck in the game. Dodging these hits like I'm fighting for my life. Trying to level up, but the world cuts like a knife. Every move I make, it's like I'm lagging behind. Searching for a checkpoint, some peace of mind. NPCs around, but nobody sees the code in my soul and the weight of these streets. I keep respawning, still I stand tall. Even when the screen goes dark, I won't fall. This is a game, then I'm changing the rules. No more being used, no more playing the fool. I've been through the fire, I've been through the noise. Now I'm finding my power, now I'm finding my voice. From the bottom to the top, I'ma rise again. Hit one more save point and break out the pain. Feels like I'm trapped in a simulation. Level after level, no explanation. That's out of my heart, but it keeps on breaking. Living this life like a game that's glitching and shaking. I still with you in the rain. I still with you through the pain. You know it's never the same. Living life like we're stuck in the game.
Some good stuff, y'all. Gotta return to what's good. Gotta return to what's good. Return to what is God. Oh, my friends. Well, I think I've just wasted all of our time. But I'm happy to do it together. Excuse me. I hope to see you guys over on Pilled, where I don't have to put my head over here every time I want to take a hit out of a joint. So, hopefully I see you guys over there. One more thing before I go. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of silly fucking rules that they're writing down and signing, right? That have to do with marijuana. And they're decriminalizing this, and they're doing that, and they're rescheduling this, and you know what? I've come to a point where I don't listen to idiots anymore. And especially idiots that think that they could just write something on paper and it makes it actually worth something. To those idiots, we don't care anymore. They just made the amount of weed that you can have in Massachusetts. Now you could have 2 ounces on you. Oh, so now you can spend more money at our dispensaries. But don't you dare go and grow your own. Don't you dare do it, because we'll come and get you. You better just only, the good stuff that we grow, because it's good because we grow it. And we tax it, and we put the prices on it. No, I'm sorry, we don't listen to your fucking rules anymore. I'm a native person of this land. I was born here. There's nowhere for me to go. I follow God's law, and that is it. There is no other law. There's no second law. There's God's law. That's it.